Hello, my name is Jonathan Carroll, and welcome to the ADHD Guru podcast. For more information on me, you can visit my website at adhdguru.com. You can call me at area code 877-398-2343. Send me an email to Jonathan, that's Jonathan, at adhdefcoach.com. You can find me on social media, Instagram and Twitter at ADHD Guru. You can find me on Facebook at adhdefcoach.com. If you listen to this through iTunes or the Google Play Store, thank you very much. And if you could leave me some feedback and rate this podcast, it helps me grow and develop it. So your feedback is very helpful. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to leave me some comments and some other information, I'm happy to get back to you and certainly adjust this podcast as we go along. I like to make this as interactive as possible. And if you have an idea for something, please let me know. And I certainly will take that into account and we'll address that because I think I want to answer the questions that are important to you. Excuse me. So today's topic is mindfulness and ADHD. I've written about this before. I discuss this regularly with my clients. I think being mindful is exceptionally challenging for us with ADHD. We're dealing with so many different things and so many different factors of things that being mindful sort of takes a back seat at times, when in reality, it might be one of the most important skills and strategies that we have. Okay, so what are some examples of being mindful? Let's talk about a few different categories and sort of give you an idea. The first one is with food. So an example is I knew I was going to do this podcast. I'm doing this right after lunch, and I decided to have, a reasonably sized lunch because I know I have to do this and I have some other things to do this afternoon. And I know I won't be having dinner till later. So I wanted to make sure that I ate a decent enough sized meal to tie me over till later. And why is that? Because I know as a student of myself that if I don't eat properly, I get, the term is, I guess, hangry, as my wife likes to tell me. And I can sometimes very much overreact and get very short-sighted and get short-tempered and more impulsive if I don't eat something. So I want to make sure that I'm always cognizant of the fact that my body responds to food and responds to the right foods. So I didn't have a plate of spicy food before doing this. Why? One is because if I'm trying to do a podcast and I'm constantly drinking water, or I'm constantly struggling with either, again, something burning my mouth, or I'm in the process of digesting something spicy, it impacts you. And my ability to focus remains less. So that's one of the things that I want to make sure of, is that when I have a meal, that I have the right kind of meal. If, let's say, I do want to sit down and have some spicy wings, which I enjoy once in a while, I want to make sure that I don't have too much on the schedule, because my ability to get things done the rest of the day can be greatly impacted by that. Okay, so that's one example. Another example is, let's say that you're going to an event and you're going to be in a large room and you're going to be seeing a speaker, or it's a wedding, or whatever the case may be, you're in a large room. So one of the biggest challenges, I think, for people with ADHD, again, is being mindful of large groups and getting mindful of the environment that we're in. Okay, so there are times where, we're bored. I mean, it's the way of the world. Smartphones give us an opportunity to do things to be less bored. But when you keep taking your phone out, or if you're on your phone, or if you're doing things on your phone, it can come across as very rude. And it can come across as very disinterested. And it can come across as that what's on your phone is more important than the situation you're in. And again, I'm not saying that taking out our phone every once in a while and checking for messages and things like that isn't important. But I'm saying is, if it becomes the majority of your focus, it can come across as wrong to several people. So I would be cognizant and mindful of that type of situation. The other thing too is that if you know that you're getting bored and you know that there's a problem, being mindful of those around you is get up and go take a break, go take a walk, go grab a drink of water, go out in the hall and do something with your phone. Because then at least that way it comes across as less rude, and it comes across as just that, you're being more mindful of the room that you're in. Surprisingly, not surprisingly, I think we sometimes lose sight of the fact that our phones make it seem like we're more interested in the person on it or the topic on it than the people around us. And we have to be very careful of that. So those are just a couple of things about being mindful. I would start, again, I told you not to take your phone out in situations, but sometimes it's helpful to take your phone out and be mindful of things and learn from them. Like, for example, again, I go back to the spicy food example. If you know after a spicy meal, you probably shouldn't be going to meet with your boss, probably want to start jotting some of these things down. So just that way you have that information, you know it's there, and you're able to digest it. So I hope those things help you. I'm happy to be presenting you with more tips through this podcast. If you haven't listened to some of the other ones, please do. Again, most of the videos are on here as well. If you're more into the seeing it and hearing it than just hearing it, you can do it that way as well. So let me give you my info one more time. Jonathan Carroll, ADHDguru.com, 877-398-2343. Jonathan at ADHDEFcoach.com. Twitter and Instagram, ADHD Guru. Facebook, ADHDEFcoach.com. And thank you so much for listening. And again, if you don't mind me leaving me some feedback on one of the iTunes or Google Play, I'd appreciate it. And on YouTube as well. Have a great day.